Welcome to another segment by Corker Adventures. Hi everyone. We had a fuse blow in our van. We don't know whether it was yesterday or before that, but we went to turn some lights on and the lights wouldn't come on. So I'm going to show you how to change fuses in a van. It's a very simple task to do and most people will know how to do it, but for those that don't, this is just a simple video to show you how to do it. We do have a fuse diagram that does say what fuses relate to which ones. But if you don't have a fuse diagram, it's a very handy skill to learn how to diagnose which fuse is blown. So the first thing that you need is a little testing tool. These have a little clamp that you clamp onto the terminal that relates to the side of the panel you're testing. There's a little light in the shaft of this tool that will light up if the fuse is fine when you touch that point to the screw that holds the wiring for that circuit in place. You'll also need a box of spare fuses. We know all the different fuses in this van now because we've made sure that we do. So make sure you carry a selection of fuses that relate to every scenario in your van, including in the main switch coming into the van. You also need a fuse remover. Now we did buy these little fuse pullers from Super Cheap, I think it was, and look, okay, they can do the job, but I find them not very effective in pulling fuses in such a small space. So what we use are a pair of artery forceps. Because I'm a nurse, I can get hold of these. These are disposable at work, so I just grabbed a pair once we've done with them. They've got a lovely serrated area either side, nice narrow nose to get into the narrow fuse area. And as I said, they're easy for me to get. You can get them at chemists if you want to buy a pair. The other thing that you can get are just long nose pliers with a rubber handle is probably a good idea too when working on power areas. Now I'll show you how to test the fuse for the bad fuse first. All of our fuses on this side relate to this positive load, sorry. So I'm going to clamp the little clamp on that positive load. When I touch the screw that relates to the circuit, the light in that handle will light up if it's live. So that one's fine, that one's not. And I'm just testing each one to make sure I don't have any other fuses that are going. Okay, so it's the second fuse that I need to replace. I'll remove that. Now for safety's sake, I'm going to turn the power off at the main switchboard in our Caravan. Now it's not live here anymore. I'll use my little pliers, forceps, to pull out that fuse. And as you can see with this fuse, it's blackened in the centre. That does show us that that fuse is no longer functioning. So now I get the new fuse and I clamp the plastic part of the new fuse. Put it into the little teeth that go in where they hold the fuse. And then I find it easiest to actually push it in with my thumb. And I'm having the same problem I always have. I find it very fiddly putting these things in. There we go. That's better. Now when I turn the power back on, if I want to test that circuit again to make sure that that fuse is working, we've got power. So I know that the fuse is replaced and we've now got power to the light. So I hope that helps people who don't know how to change fuses. In the instance that none of these worked, I'd have to go back and look further afield and see if there was a fuse in the supply coming into the van and check that one to see if it wasn't working. But we only had a series of bedroom lights that weren't working. Everything else in the van was, so I knew that it was going to be up here at the supply coming in. Good luck with changing fuses.